Alright y'all, welcome back to the Kreiner Scoop, back here with another video game review. More specifically, another Sonic video game review. So if you know me, you know I'm a huge fan of Sonic the Hedgehog, and if you are too, definitely check out some of my other reviews on Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast, and also Tails Adventure, the port for Nintendo 3DS. Fair warning, neither of those videos are of the highest quality per se, but both of those games are great, so check them out if you have some time. But for now, let's talk about Sonic Mania Plus for the Nintendo Switch. Upon its release, it received rave reviews from the general gaming community for its return to form using the classic Sonic formula that made the blue blur an international phenomenon in the 90s. By that, I mean it's two-dimensional, the story is simple, being all about catching Eggman, gameplay centers on getting from point A to point B, and reaching high speeds is predicated on map memorization in order to find the quickest routes, to skip over bottomless pits, and to avoid all of the enemies. Of course, if you hit those enemies, you lose all of your rings, and if you hit them when you have 0 rings, you lose a life. Luckily, there's plenty of rings around, as well as other power-ups also returning from previous 2D Sonic entries to keep you going. At the end of the level, you speed past the finish post, or you may have to face off against a boss, in which each zone has one. These bosses are of course Eggman's inventions, and pretty easy to beat if you've ever played a 2D Sonic game. Admittedly, not all of these bosses are the most memorable, like this purple caterpillar for instance. Yeah, this one in particular, it just did not do it for me. But most do. And some showcase some great set pieces. Sonic is of course the main playable character, with Tails acting as his sidekick, a la Sonic the Hedgehog 2. But if this setup is not your thing, you are in luck, as this game includes not one, but 5 playable characters. I will go ahead and put myself on the record here as saying a big fan, or as being a big fan of Sonic games, including multiple playable characters. Sonic Adventure is my favorite Sonic game because I love the variety, so I'm excited to see whenever a Sonic game opens up the roster a little bit. There is of course the titular blue hedgehog, but you can also play as Tails the fox, Knuckles the echidna, and the lesser known Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the squirrel. Bonus points for bringing back Ray and Mighty, who have not appeared in Sonic games since 1993 and 1995, respectively. For Sonic Mania Plus, each character has their own strengths and can take advantage of them to reach different areas in the maps in the 12 different zones, which is great because these zones are beautiful to play in, with a good mix of them being remixed classics and the others being brand new ones, so any reason to revisit them is definitely appreciated. Speaking of zones, and revisiting, and reasons to do just that, we've talked about the main campaign, but what about after you complete it? Well, you can always try and collect all of the Chaos Emeralds through special zones to unlock Super Sonic, which honestly is something I have not yet accomplished in any 2D Sonic game, because these special stages are always impossible. Seriously, I get so frustrated. Kudos to you if you've ever played as Super Sonic in a 2D Sonic game. I don't know, leave a comment or something. Tell me what it's like. Other than that, we do have offline 4-player multiplayer, which I definitely appreciate. You can see a match here between my fiancée Leia, my sister Katie, and myself. We also have a time trial mode, which is pretty fleshed out. You can race through any level you have previously completed. Upon completion, your time and score is saved to international online leaderboards, with each level and character having their own leaderboards. Furthermore, this mode lets you save your replays so you can race against your former self, and also helps you find the best route for the best times. Very cool in my opinion, and I've definitely spent most of my time playing in this section of the game. Finally, we have Encore mode, which is essentially a whole new way to play through the campaign, with a new mechanic involving building up your roster to to the 5 playable heroes we listed earlier and switching them out on the fly as needed in the middle of zones. And also these zones get a new coat of paint in this mode. Is this mode worth diving into immediately after beating the main campaign? I didn't think so. I played through about half of Encore mode, and it did not vary enough from the main campaign to keep me interested. I definitely still appreciate the alternative way to play though, through the story. Just was not my cup of tea. But what of the game as a whole? Was that my cup of tea? Was it my Earl Grey? My Darjeeling? Well, yes and no. Don't get me wrong, it's a great game. It's just a great 2D Sonic game, which for me will never be as good as a great 3D Sonic game. Now I realize that can be a pretty decisive opinion, but you just have to understand. I was raised on the 3D Dreamcast Xbox era of Sonic, so that's just what I prefer. That said, I have played through enough 2D Sonic games to know that this is one of the better ones in that field. It feels good to play, it's addictive, it's nostalgic, it has the usual great music of a Sonic game, and it has multiplayer and online leaderboards. What more do you really need? I give Sonic Mania Plus on the Nintendo Switch 4 out of 5 scoops. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks. Bye.